Okay, I'm back. So a little while ago I did a video and same guy, different t-shirt. This is part of my video management system so I can visually just be like, oh yeah, that video is that video, this video. Okay, but so I got off the last one and I was laying down online, um, just staring off into the full moonlight, um, which it is here right now. It's 1:45 a.m. But then I was like, oh, I forgot to say my Founder Institute story. So, as if you watch the last video, the 20 years of just like the startup entrepreneurial shit show that it's been, um, and then I reminded myself of Founder Institute, and I just felt like making this video again. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Founder Institute is this company where they say, all right, pay $1,450, and you're gonna come to this class, and you're gonna work on stuff and have coursework and at the end of it you graduate, and then throughout you have you talk to mentors and you collaborate, and it's just like this. It was very appealing to me. And to get in, you take a test, and um, you pass it. It's an intelligence test, and they don't tell you how good you did. But anyway, so I got in by myself, and so I applied to the Silicon Valley. This was okay. So this was fall of 2015. So September, October ish. So earlier, so that summer of 2015, I had was it 2015? Yeah, 2015. So I had applied, and I got back, and I got accepted, and I got accepted into the Silicon Valley cohort, which was starting of September of that year, or October. And so I was like, oh shit, am I going? And like, okay, I'm in Hawaii, right? So it's like it's a thing, right? So I took out a loan, 2 weeks notice. I was like, fuck, but I just had to send it. I just had to do it. I just something I had to do to kind of integrate myself into that whole culture and meet people and all those reasons. So, I see the date, and I'm like, all right, let me get there 3 weeks ahead of time, and situate myself. I got an Airbnb in San Jose. It was my first time in the Bay Area, other than just stopping by at the San Francisco airport, connecting New York or whatever. So first time, San Jose, Suno Street. Um, Boom, I'm there. I'm in a house full of Taiwan guys. They're all working on stuff. So intimidating. I'm just like, doo, 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 doo. Felt totally out of place, but I was like, well, this is, you got to jump in. Jump in the pool, the deep end. And great guys, and we had dinners, and they're all they're on their own. Some of them worked for companies, and they weren't really there as startup founders, but they understood like that's what people do too in the valley. But they're there working, but they're always on their computer just hacking away, and just like, whoa, like those guys are top notch, and phew. But anyway, so I was there for Founder Institute, and so the 3 weeks, I just there's a Whole Foods nearby, and I walked there every day. Whole Foods was just another amazing thing. Um, so anyway, and it was cold, which was nice, so I could get a jacket. It felt real slick. So 2015, I was 35 then. Yeah, turned 35. So in good spirits, and so um, I went there without really setting an idea. I had some ideas, um, but while sitting on the patio one night, I came up with the idea of the startup that I kind of pursued while at Founder Institute. Um, anyway, that idea was called workaperk.com, and the concept was all right, because I was in the service industry, and like what could, and one of the things, like, people would come in to say hi to me. So if I was bartending or serving, they'd come in and they'd spend money. They'd say what's up. They tip me well, and that's all great. And if you're good at your job and you're good with the customers, a lot of people would come in just to see you, or would not would go to another spot if you're not working there. So you realize you bring customers in, and so I thought, like, okay, how is that? How can I monetize that better? And I thought, okay, well, if I create a deal that I can send to people, friends, family, and just like on Facebook posts, like, yo, I'm bartending tonight, come in tonight, prepay this, basket of fries for $3, and just come in. And then the theory is they'll come in and they're gonna buy a drink and a soda and maybe a burger with it, whatever the case. And I was like, I really like that idea. And I was like, I had the rush and the feeling. I was like, that's the idea right there. And small businesses was a hard, especially restaurants, was a hard egg to crack, nut to crack, for the industry at that time. And so it was like a Groupon, but personal. And so it's like a coupon. And so if you're a tourist in the area, you look on the site, you see all the cards of like all the deals, and then you see someone that says like, yeah, I want to go to culinary school, buy this, and then when you walk into a new restaurant, you're like, hey, yeah, I bought your coupon, tell me about whatever. And it's like kind of an introduction, a personalized thing. And so that was it in 2015, and I was really stoked, and I was like, oh shit, I'm onto something. And so anyway, so 3 weeks went by, and it was like 2-3 days before the class was starting, and I looked at where the class was, and I had the map, and I had it all right, so I'm gonna ride the train and da-da-da. I was excited, but like something told me like I should have gotten an email like, get ready for your schooling, your class or whatever, or nothing, no emails came. So I wrote an email like, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm just I just want to confirm that the class is starting, and a little back and forth like, who are you, and like what's, and I was like, yeah, I got accepted to the Silicon Valley. It's starting. I just want to make sure it's at the still same location and da da da. And the lady it was like, what's your number, and give me your info, let me call you back or email back. And I don't know if they called me, or I think they called me. Someone called me and was like, no, yeah, they called me. They're like, yeah, that class is canceled. And I'm like, oh my God, you kidding me, right? And I was on the phone like, I traveled here from Hawaii. Like, I quit my job. I'm like, I fucking took out a loan just so I could fucking go to this class. They're like, yeah, sorry, but well, there's a Los Angeles class that's starting tomorrow night. And I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow night. And I'm just like, my mind was blown. And so, okay, and I'm like, well, do they know I'm coming? Like, I mean, like, and they're like, yeah, if you go to that one, we'll have you. Like, just like, and I was like, okay, bye. And so, like, that day, it was like 10 in the morning. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? Am I gonna, stay in the valley and just like figure it out and start a part-time job, or do I fucking hop on a flight and go to LA? Because I mean, that's what I was there for. So the decision I made was I looked at the Airbnbs in LA. I found one in West Hollywood, like $18 a night. I was like, shit, I'll have to get a job while I'm there, but I'm gonna make it work. And so I did get a job there a couple weeks in, but I fucking flew in, I rented a car, and I freaking just, cheapest hotel near the place, and I, Century City, and I stayed one night there, and then I moved into my Airbnb. One night there at Century City, the next day, was the orientation. No, that night. That night I flew in that night, and just like I couldn't find a flight that first day. Anyway, so I fly in that night. I didn't even check in. I went straight to Century City, and I was like a half hour late. Bags on my arm, um, like a travel bag and like a little rollaway suitcase. Hi guys, and like a little embarrassed, and like there's a room full of like 100 people. They're all just looking at me. I'm like, oh, I just got sent here. Sorry, and like the lady was just like, here, sign in, and I'm like, did you know I was coming? And she's like, no, that's fine. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm there late, and so 2 minutes in, um, and I think I missed the portion where everyone stood up and told what kind of startup they were gonna do, and I was like, well, fuck, I wanted to do that, you know, um, whatever. So they split us into groups. This was the first odd thing about it, besides the already odd, like, oh, fuck you, we didn't even bother to call you and tell you, um, like, yeah, this Silicon Valley class is canceled. So again, little sleep. I'm there, but making the best of it. So they split us into groups. I remember, and all right. So like 7 groups: the blue group, the brown group, the purple group, blah blah blah. Anyway, our group was um, like the black people, the Asians. Okay, that was our group. Now there was one other black person in another group, and one other Asian in another group. But for the most part, like the 12 of us was just the blacks and Asians. Um, like 7 black people, women and men, and 4 Asians, and I guess some Pacific Islander. So okay, Asian. So I was like, we all looked at each other. We're like, okay, because we're all in separate rooms and we were in one room. And we're kind of looking over our shoulder, like, okay. And anyway, so we get into our little group task, and and so this was like 10 or 12 weeks, right? And so little things like that, well, big things like that. But over the course of time, it became clear that they were like booting out all the black and brown people and Asian people. And I'm like, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I should have known right at the start, like, was that their signal? Like, yeah, we're going to be racist here, so that's just the way it is, so deal with it. Was that the signal? Should I just, because that first night, after that first get together, they give you your money back if you say, you know what, I don't want to do it. And, you know, I mean, I'm here to fucking play ball, you know? I'm here to fucking fight, you know? And get busy. So I'm like, fuck it. Maybe that's just a little psychological thing, and you shouldn't even have to think like that, but that's how it was, yeah? So, anyway, so this goes on, and through the course of the thing, I am noticing that everyone's dropping out, all the black, brown, Asians, right? And I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm going to fucking get to graduation. And so everyone there was from LA, and they all had a job, right? Like a regular job. I was there, and I would just had the fucking, my valet job just to make a little extra money, and I would then focus on that. So I was like the only person that actually did all the assignments, like fully. Like, oh, you got to talk to 50 people. I talked to 50 people. And it was like that kind of bullshit that no one else really did. And so I was just in there to the end, and like just stupid shit, and they try to embarrass you, and they put you like in front of the little group, and they put this idiot on that had like a similar couponing kind of thing, and he was trying to like attack me and like the tough love, and I was talking to him, and he was on video conference call, and I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot, and I should have said something, but I didn't. But it just, the whole thing was a shit show, and I was like, wow, and I was just kind of blown away, and I felt kind of scammed. I was like, fuck, I got scammed, and I kind of pride myself on never getting scammed, like, but oh, I got scammed. This was a scam, and like you go on Google and like you never see one negative review about Founder Institute. And I was like, oh, these guys got it. These guys got their scam down. Um, so so that was an experience, and then like I said, I was the only one that did all the things. Like I was dedicated to the program, right? And at graduation, you have like a little ceremony, and I think at graduation, then they something like they let like you talk to certain people or something like that. But it's still graduation, you know, something you accomplished. And so a week prior to graduation, um, they did all the incorporation for your company, right? And that costed another $950 or $1,250. Another good amount. It might have been $2,000. And I was like, "Fuck! I did not get that memo." And I was like, "Fuck! I won't be able to graduate." And I was like, "God damn it!" And so everyone there, of course, had the money, and I was like, "Fuck! Well, that's that." And so, um, there's one guy. He was a pilot. Um, I remember, and he had a nice wife, and they kind of saw that I was in it to win it, and he's like, I'll pay for it, and it was like $2,000 or something. I was like, you don't have to do that, but I wanted to graduate because I was right there, and I was like, I don't like being in that spot, and still thankful to that guy, and like anyway, and part of like what I want to be able to call that guy one day and be like, dude, I got your money, but it hasn't happened in 20 years, in 10 years. I gotta get some sleep. But anyway, so that happened, incorporated, and I felt like, wow, I have a Delaware incorporated company, the Worker Perk, the one I had the first co-founder with after I flew home from that, then the second co-founder, the one I really pursued and put my best foot forward with the MVP. After that Founder Institute, I spent my own money and made the MVP happen, and really, I flew to another island, and I walked around, talked to 100 small businesses, or maybe 200. I just spent the whole day, and just trying to get things going and off the ground. But anyway, a week prior to graduation, they booted me, and they said, I don't even remember the reason. Like, I missed an assignment, and I was just like, and I think everyone knew it was bullshit. No one really spoke up or cared enough to speak up at that point. Which, whatever. I know you don't want to, upset the cart or whatever the saying is, but they booted me, and I was like, I was so like dumbfounded, and it was mind blowing. It was freaking mind blowing, and so that was the experience. That was one of the experiences that I had in going down this route. And it's fucking Founder Institute, Adeo Resi, and his roommate, Elon Musk. Maybe that's related because you go on X now and he's real quick to fucking put down the black and browns. Like, that's how he starts his day every morning. A nice cup of coffee, and let's put down the black and browns. He's real quick for that, I've noticed. And I'm like, oh, maybe they had a little pact in college or something, or not. I don't know, but it was quite fucking alarming how Founder Institute did business, and yeah, and I talked to one of the Asian guys that got booted, like kind of like right before me, like. At some point, either through email or something, he's like, yeah, it's fucking unbelievable. It's all bullshit. And I was like, well, I guess, they can take it. But I was pissed. I was like, I fucking spent money, and I fucking, took out took like 6 months out of my life to fucking fly 3,000 miles and fucking do this program. And that's the story of the Founder Institute. That's it. I'll probably be back on later tonight. Probably not. And tell you another fucked up story. But that's the Founder Institute, LA, 2015 winter class.